Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to solve the 7th question from CIE IGCSE 058043 extended paper from May-June 2024. Now this question is from numbers topic and it has two sub-questions A and B. So let us start with the first sub-question. A car travels 50 km at an average speed of 75 km per hour. Find the time taken and give your answer in minutes. Now here we have been given the distance covered by the car, that is 50 kilometers, and the speed at which it is moving, that is 75 kilometers per hour. We need to find out what is the time taken by this car to travel this distance if it is moving with a speed of 75 kilometers per hour. And the second thing we need to do is we need to convert this time which we have got in hours in terms of minutes. So we have the relationship between time, distance and speed as, so here the time is equal to distance over speed. Now distance was given as 50 kilometers, so we have written in the numerator 50 divided by, now the speed is given as kilometers per hour, so I have written here 75 kilometers and I have converted this 1 hour to minutes. So 75 gets divided by 60 minutes. Now this fraction, when we are taking it to the numerator, flips upside down, so we get 50 times 60 over 75. So let us see what value this gives us. So this is going to give us 40 minutes. So the car has taken 40 minutes to cover a distance of 50 kilometers if it is moving at speed of 75 kilometers per hour. Now moving on to the second sub question. Another car travels 47 kilometer, correct to the nearest kilometer. Average speed of this car is 75 kilometers per hour. Correct to the nearest 5 kilometers per hour. Calculate the lower bound of the time taken and give your answer in minutes. So here again the distance and average speed of a car is given and it is given as nearest kilometers or nearest kilometers per hour. So here let us first start with the distance. Let us try to find out its upper limit and lower limit. Since nearest kilometer is given, it means we have to consider nearest 1 kilometer and divided by 2. So here we get the upper limit and lower limit as, so when we add 0.5 to 47 kilometers, we are going to get its upper bound or upper limit, and when we subtract 0.5 from 47 kilometer, we are going to get its lower bound. Similarly for the average speed, since 5 kilometers per hour is given, we are going to take 5 over 2. So here we get positive 2.5, that is to get the upper limit of the speed, we have to add 2.5 to 75, and to get its lower limit or lower bound, we have to subtract 2.5 from 75 kilometers per hour. So let me write down the lower bound and upper bound for distance and average speed over here. Now here for the distance, when we add 0.5 we get upper bound, and when we subtract 0.5 we get lower bound. So the upper bound of the distance becomes 47.5 and the lower bound of the distance becomes 47 minus 0.5, giving us 46.5. Similarly for the average speed, when we are adding 2.5 to 75 we get 77.5 kilometers per hour, and when we are subtracting 2.5 from 75 we get 72.5 kilometers per hour. Now since here we need to find out the lower bound of time and we have a relationship between time, distance and speed, we are going to write here time is equal to distance over speed. So this is the relationship between time, distance and speed. And since we need to find out the lower bound of the time, we have to take the numerator's lower bound and denominator's upper bound. So here lower bound of time is equal to lower bound of distance over upper bound of speed. And lower bound of distance we have got here as 46.5 and upper bound of speed is 77.5. So let us see what value this gives us. So this is going to give us 3 over 5, or in decimals let us see, we get it as 0.6. Now this time is in hours because we have not converted the speed as minutes. So here we are going to write 0.6 hours. Now since we need to get the time in terms of minutes, we are going to convert this hours into minutes by multiplying 60 with 0.6. So here 0.6 times 60 gives us 36 minutes. So let us write our answer. Here answer is going to be 36 minutes. Now let us move on to the B sub question. A train travels a total of 240 km. The train travels for t minutes at an average speed of 100 km per hour. It then travels for t plus 60 minutes at an average speed of 110 km per hour. Find the average speed for the whole journey. Now to understand this question, I'm going to draw a rough figure. So here the total distance is given as 240 kilometers and it's been divided into two journeys. That is, the first part of the journey takes t minutes when the train travels at 100 kilometers per hour. And the second part of the journey takes t plus 60 minutes when the train increases its speed to 110 kilometers per hour. So I have divided these two journeys or two distances covered as d1 and d2. So basically d1 and d2, when we add them together, we should get a total distance of 240 kilometers. So we have here d1 plus d2 is equal to the total distance 240. Now we have a relationship between the distance, speed and time as speed is equal to distance over time. Since we have generated an equation in terms of distance, we are going to rearrange this formula as distance is equal to speed times time. Now we have the time, we have the speed for each part of the journey. So here for d1 and d2 we are going to write 100 over 60 times t, that is for the first part of the journey, plus 110 over 60 times the time, which is t plus 60. Now this becomes important for you to understand why I have written the equation this way. Now this represents your speed, that is 100 over 60, and this is the time, and 110 over 60 again represents the speed. Here I have converted the hours to minutes because the time was given in minutes. So basically here we can think of 100 kilometers. I am taking this first part. So 100 kilometers is covered in 1 hour. So if I'm going to convert it into minutes, I'm going to write here as 60 minutes. So 100 kilometers was covered in 60 minutes. Then in 1 minute, how much distance was covered? So it's basically cross multiplication. 100 multiplies with 1, giving us 100, and 60 will divide 100. So we have converted this 100 kilometers per hour to 100 kilometers per minutes. Similarly, for this part of the speed, it's a similar cross multiplication, that is 110 kilometers are covered in 60 minutes. Then in 1 minute, how much distance will be covered? So 110 multiplies with 1, giving us 110, and 60 will divide this number and then multiplied with its time. So speed times time plus speed times time, that is we have converted the distance to speed and time using this formula, and similarly distance 2 is also converted to this formula, speed times time, equal to the total distance of 240. Now once we have written this, let us simplify this equation. That is, these two terms on the left hand side have a common denominator as 60. So we have written the numerator as 100 times t is 100t plus 110 times this bracket divided by a common denominator 60 is equal to 240. Now we are going to take the 60 on the other side of equal to sign. So 240 gets multiplied with 60. Now expansion of the brackets on the left hand side. So 100t stays the same plus 110 multiplies with t, giving us 110t. 110 multiplies with 60, giving us plus 6600 is equal to 240 times 60 gives us 14,400. Now gathering the like terms, that is 100t and 110t are like terms, and we are going to take 6600 on the right hand side. So we get 100t plus 110t gives us 210t is equal to 14,400. Now plus 6,600 becomes minus 6,600. So this right hand side simplifies and gives us 7,800, and at the same time we are going to take 210 on the other side of equal to sign so that it divides the numerator 7,800. So this gives us the time as 37.14 minutes. Now here we need to find out the average speed of the whole journey. Average speed is the total distance covered over the total time. So here we are going to write the average speed as average speed is equal to total distance over total time. Now total distance was given in the question as 240 over total time is going to be the time t minutes given over here and time t plus 60. So we are taking the total of the entire journey. So here we have written in the denominator t plus 60. Now since we have got the answer in minutes, that is time is in minutes. We have to convert it into hours. As you can see, they want us to write the average speed in hours. So we are going to multiply this fraction by 60 to convert the minutes to hours. So here we have written 240 over time, we got it as 37.14 plus 37.14 plus 60 times 60. Now let us see what value this gives us. So this is going to give us a value as 40,000 over 373, or in decimals it's going to be 107.238. I'm going to round this number to 2 decimal places. So it's going to be 107.24 kilometers per hour. So here we have written 107.24 kilometers per hour. This is the average speed of the train. I hope you have understood all the steps and liked the video. And if you found this video useful, then check out these playlists where you'll find more examples of this kind. And if you're liking my videos, like, share and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.